Welcome everybody to the first session of Intellicus Product Training 2023. So in this particular session, we will walk through how Intellicus can help business users to complete their data journey. It will also help business users in analytics. The duration of today's session is 90 minutes. We will have a question and answer session for 15 minutes at the end of the session. Attendees may write down their question which will be answered at the end of the session, or they can also write their questions into the chat box so that our panelists can answer them in between if required. So moving towards the agenda for today's session. So the agenda for today's session is introduction to Intellicus, then Intellicus Components, then what are the reporting terminologies we are using in Intellicus, then getting started with the Intellicus. We will do a practice or hands-on on the Intellicus. Then different types of the Intellicus reports, the different types of reports end user or the designer can view and create in Intellicus to fulfill their reporting needs and to do the analytics. Then in the last, we have a question and answers session. So our Intellicus is a complete BI suite for all your business intelligence needs. You can bring in data from the multiple sources and start creating reports with the Intellicus in no time. With multiple visualization, custom capabilities, data science capabilities, predictive analytics, and real-time analytics, we becomes the one of the powerful analytics tools in the industry. We also provide mobile analytics. The user can create different BI reports according to their business requirement and view them in the mobile application on the fly. Intellicus empowers our business to take decisions more accurate. Now, Intellicus Product. So Intellicus Product is a browser-based product. It is platform independent. We have multiple suite which in having the multiple components, that is design, deploy, you can manage the things, you can schedule the reports. And it is a tool for business user to design, view, and alter report design even after reports has been generated. So by the means of browser based, so it is a web-based application. We can access it through our web browsers. We also have a support of mobile, so user can view the reports in the mobile as well. In terms of performance, platform independent, a platform can be defined as a computer architecture and operating system or a combination of both. So Intellicus can be installed on most of the popular platforms, that is Windows and Linux. And it support widely database as well, because we supports multiple database in Intellicus. Apart from that, our server or our client or web server is responsible for the HTML content in our web application. So we use Jakarta Tomcat. There are also multiple open source application servers, that's like Oracle application server or Glassfish, that also are supported. So this makes Intellicus platform independent. Apart from this, the user can design all the prerequisite entities required for designing a report in Intellicus. And then user can design the report in Intellicus, do the analytics, They can move the reports from one Intellicus server to another Intellicus servers using the deploy option. They can manage the accessibility of the reports as well, so that a particular user can view a particular report and particular end user will not be able to see a particular report. You can also schedule the delivery of the reports. For example, if user want to deliver a report to the particular person through email at a particular time, so that can also be achievable. You can also select the delivery methods as well. For delivering a report, you can deliver a report in a PDF format or Excel format, or the different widely supported format in the industry. And the end user or the business user uh, plug and play over the report. They can change the filter to do the analytics. And in the business user can also redesign the report or alter the report according to the new requirement in their business analytics to do to save the rework. Now Intellicus components. So our Intellicus application mainly have two components. One is report server and another is report portal. So report server is the Intellicus report engine where all the ETL operations will be performed, where all our analytics get performed. And report portal or the web portal is the UI part of our application through which user can access the Intellicus. We provide a web-based secure access to all the Intellicus functionalities for end user, from end user reporting to data administrator and monitoring as well. We provide our end user the navigation panel and the object explorer to access their entities, to run their reports, to view their reports. Our report engine is a highly scalable server that is capable of handling simultaneously reporting requests 24/7 without any performance issues and delivering the rich format reports in the multiple offered formats, just like Excel, PDF. Our BI server that is our reporting engine, is built uh, in a robust manner that our single report server is performing ETL operations, OLAP queries firing, OLAP build cubes, scheduling of reports, delivery engine, data extraction, and a lot of things. We have a very simple service-oriented architecture that provides us a complete organization, multi-factored BI needs. So we fulfill all the BI needs for an organization. There is a backend one option as well, that is a database server. So as we are a BI tool, so for connecting or taking the data or designing the reports, we need to connect to the multiple databases. So our Intellicus report engine supports multiple database connection. A database connection need to be configured for Intellicus to fetch data for the reports and to access metadata. So we support multiple databases, RDBMS, non-RDBMS, and once we get a connection or once we get connected to the database through Intellicus report engine, then we are able to design the reports and do the analytics on our data. You need to have super administrator privileges to be able to be set up the database connections on Intellicus. And we supports heterogeneous data sourcing, because if your some of the data is coming from the Oracle database and your some of the data is coming from the MS SQL, so you can create two different connections, join their data into the Intellicus and perform reporting. Now moving towards the Intellicus architecture. So we have three layers in Intellicus as an architecture. So The lowermost layer is the administrator layer or the data or the IT staff layer. Then we in the middle we have a data administrator or the report designer. And in the top we have the business user on the end user. So the lowermost layer that we see here is about the administrator of the product. So the administrator of the product is responsible for creating the database connections to the database or the data connections to the database. The administrator is responsible for performing the user management, that which user should be given which access to which report or which entities of Intellicus. The data administrator is responsible, or the system administrator is responsible for configuring multiple properties of Intellicus server, just like concurrent user execution or memory allocated to report engines or the multiple timeouts of databases. All these would be configured by the data administrator. And the data administrator or the configuration or the system administrator is also responsible for taking backups and archives of the reports or creating the caps of the report. And also, if there is a requirement of clustering or load balancer in the current architecture due to the large number of concurrent user requests, so that is also decision on the system administrator only. Now moving toward the middle layer, that is report designer layer. So this layer is for the data expert who can write the multiple complex SQL procedures or SQL queries. And it basically acts as a semantic layer for the business user. Because report designer and the layout designers can only design the reports and understand the SQL queries. And on the basis of the requirement of the end user, they can design the report outputs for the end user. So they are responsible for processing of the data. The data should come properly from the database with all the where clauses. Then performing ETL layers on that, creating multiple Intellicus entities required for the report, just like query objects or analytical objects. They basically creates the ETL layer for the business user along with the report designing. Now the last layer is the business user. So the main user segment for which Intellicus is widely used is the topmost layer, that is the business user. So business user may not be have the concern with the form where and how the data is coming, or how the cube is designed, how the report is designed, how the query object is designed. He just need to see the end report to do the analytics on the data, or to see the end report to see the business use cases. So, but we give end users also to do some plug and play with the reports, so they can apply the filtering on the data. They can do the they can view the alerts generated on the data. They can actually modify the report according to their use cases, but they will not able to save the reports. So they just simply change the view types inside the report to see the output in a better way, or which can make more sense to them. Also, they can just filter the data according to their requirement. So any non-technical user can also use the Intellicus for their business analytics. Now moving towards the important report terminologies. used in the Intellicus. First is the database connections. Then we have a query object. Then we have a parameter object. Then we have analytical objects, and in last we have category. So these all are the Intellicus related terminologies or report terminologies which a user or a designer or the administrator will required while running or creating the reports on the Intellicus. So as database connections, I have already explained, but I will explain it once more time that in the database connection, we will get the details of the database from the database administrator. And in Intellicus, we will create a connection using the details provided by the system database administrator. A TCP/IP connection will be created in Intellicus. Once that connection will get created, we are able to access the data from the database and we will start creating our reports. Next terminology is the query object. So query objects are designed to collect the data from the disparate data sources, combine them into the single data set, and apply data transformation or calculations over the same. It forms the business meta layer for end user reporting, and it hides the physical database details like SQL complexities, table name from the end user or from the designer as well. Because if data administrator will design the query object and provide the details to the designer for designing the reports, so designer might be not have all the knowledge about the database or the SQL returns or the table used in the query. Now the designer can design the smart reports, charts, or multiple kind of reports supported into the Intellicus for their analytics. But as a being a administrator, user who designed the query object should have the data administrator privileges. Otherwise, they will not able to design the query object. And your user should have access rights granted on the valid database connections also, on which the query objects need to be designed. If your administrator has created the connection but doesn't not allow you to use this connection for designing the query object, so you will not able to use it. So that's why the access on the database connection is also required. Now the next reporting terminology is the parameter object. So in Intellicus, a report gets its data by running pre-generated query objects, that is by the SQLs. If that query needs a user input at runtime, so if a particular queries require a user input at runtime, so there must be a user defined entity associated with it. So that's why we introduced the concept of parameter object in Intellicus, where the values of the input parameters will be prompted for the user while running the report, and user can select the value and that value get automatically replaced in the SQL queries and the data will get updated into the desired reports. So under parameter objects, there is a steps to create the parameter object, modify and delete. So when you will go through that topic, so you will learn more about that. And there is a syntax also to use this parameter object in query object as well, because you design multiple parameter objects or you design a single parameter object that can be utilized in multiple SQL queries. So if in case you are design a parameter object for particular column of a table state and you are using that same table in multiple query objects, underline their SQLs, So you can use a single parameter object in the multiple query objects as well. Now moving towards the next entity, that is analytical object. So Intellicus analytical object is a definition of cube comprising of related dimensions and measure groups needs to analyze data. So analytical object is the underlying OLAP in the market that is available. So in Intellicus, we are giving it support is termed as analytical object. So we are creating a cubes which are multidimensional, pre-accreted data through query objects. The cubes get stored under the cube data folder of report engine, and user can define or design multiple HSV reports. There is a separate report designing for analytical object we have in Intellicus. So user can use that type of report to be created over cube objects or the analytical objects. Then we have a support of category explorer in Intellicus. So you can design multiple categories which consist of multiple entities, and you can also access the control of that as well for the different user. Different user can get access of different categories and they are able to see that, or you can also hide some categories from the user if it is not required for a particular user. And once a category get hide for a particular user, all the entities inside that category, just that is query object or different reports or parameter objects or analytical object, so that all will also not accessible for that particular user. So these major reporting terminologies will be required for multiple during the multiple sessions, and it will get iterated by multiple different areas of Intellicus. Now for accessing the Intellicus portal, you just need to give the HTTP, then colon, then localhost or the IP of your server, then the default port of Intellicus, that is 8080, then /Intellicus. So using this URL, a user can access the web portal of Intellicus. Once you will access the web portal of Intellicus, a user interface or a login page will get displayed, which is you can see in the screenshot with the Intellicus logo and copyright informations and the username and password, where user can provide his username and password for login. And we also support different mechanisms for login as well, that is Okta and one login as well. So you can log in with the different LDAP authentications as well. Once a user login into the portal, there is a portal menu from where you can navigate to the complete portal menu. We will go through the walkthrough of that as well. But there is an option to navigate, so you can navigate to the complete portal menu from there. Then there is an option of Explorer. So inside the Explorer, you can view the category and perform the reports on task on the reports. You can run the report or schedule the report or cut, copy, paste the reports. Then there is a home page also from where you can monitor the connected users and everything. There is an option of alert as well. So you can see the alerts generated through the report through this icon. Then you can govern some settings from the setting icons, just like the default reporting connection, or you can check the server time, you can check the Intellicus build version, and a lot of means that you can do from the setting. From the info also you will get the build version of the Intellicus, and through the sign out button a user can sign out from the application. Now, in coming to the next, that is Intellicus report types. So there are majorly 4 types of reports supported in Intellicus. That is Smart View reports, High Speed View reports, Ad Hoc report, and Standard reports. We have categorized this report in the 2 categories. So the Smart View report, Ad Hoc report, and the Standard reports. These 3 reports will work on the dynamic SQLs or the which will run on the SQLs or the SQLs which you mention in your query object that will directly fire in the database, and you will get the result in your reports on the fly, up to date results. But if you want to build report over analytical object or the cube object, OLAP, so there you can use high speed view reports. So smart view report, ad hoc report, and standard reports will get designed using query objects, and high speed view reports will get designed using cube objects. So before going to the hands-on, I just give the brief introduction about all 3 and these 4 reports. So first is the smart view report. So business user can, or their IT staff can generate the reports without any help. So our smart view reports presents visualization of your data using the latest interactive controls. You can view your data while designing reports, thereby saving, it will save your efforts and time to switch back and forth between the view and the design mode. So there is a single view from where you can design and save the report. It is a self-serve tool to design the smart report with the drag and drop actions for performing on the fly operations. It's allow you to choose the visualizations according to the relationships between the different data elements. And a user can create GIS maps, different types of maps, column, tree map, funnel, counter, scatter, other visualizations along with the grid. So you can also see your data into the tabular form along with all the chart and map visualizations. Now, which user it is useful to design the smart view reports. So the business users of an organization can benefit from self-service business intelligence, and they can design their reports by using the smart view option, because it helps to generate reports by simpling the data source. It enables you to do the sorting, grouping, highlighting, everything on the fly. If you want to see the particular column in a grid, you can use it, do it with the help of a smart report on the fly. So it will provide you this kind of capabilities. A smart view is also used for the trends and forecasting and the highlighting the grids in the report. Or if you want to see the trend of any analytics in your data, so you can use it. Now moving towards the next one, that is ad hoc report. We'll take HSV after standard in the last. So ad hoc report enables the user to create the report on the basis of the template. So a user can design the reports while keeping a template as a blueprint. So it have all the capabilities just like we have in the smart reports. You can perform highlighting, grouping, sorting. There are different chart controls, metrics. Also, you can design in smart and ad hoc both, cross steps, everything. with the template support. So it will help a user to design the report with the template. Now moving towards the standard report. So a standard report is the extension of ad hoc report in which a user can design the pixel perfect report, just like if a particular use case for a user to design a hospital form. So you can design that kind of pixel perfect reports using our standard report designer, which will have the multiple checkboxes or multiple form layouts you can create. Now coming towards the high speed view report. So Intellicus high speed view enables you to view and analyze multi-dimensional data to gain faster insight into the business. So you can slice and dice the attributes, drill through multiple levels, and analyze your data at the speed of the thought. So just like we in the high speed view report, we are building it over the cubes. So cubes already is in the builded form. So you can analyze your data at the speed of your thought. You are thinking anything and you want, okay, I just need to see the data of particular country. So you can just select the filter in the HSV and the result is on your screens. Also, you can do the multi-dimensional analysis, just like if in particular country, what would be the state GDP. So this kind of analytics you can do with this high-speed view reports. And you can analyze and explore multi-dimensional information within the fraction of seconds. And it will also allow user to look and feel of the dashboard like automatically, because you can also link the views in the HSV if you are creating multiple views in a HSV, because HSV reports are the view-based reports. So you can generate dashboard like reports, and with the better visualizations, because in a single view you can have a chart, you can have a cross tab, you can have a maps, and all the your different views will consist of different things. And if you change any filter in, so the data will reflect in all your views. So let me now go through, take you to the Intellicus portal. So just like I have given the IP of the server on which Intellicus is running, and then the port of on which Intellicus is running, and the Intellicus folder structure to run. Now this is a login page. Here we need to give the admin username and the password for login. Once I give, I will log into the application. So this is my home page, you can see. So this is my quick dashboard kind of thing. From here you can see, okay, how many users are connected, how many reports are executed, memory usage, then server load, iPackager you can create or bundle your reports, capacity planning of your server, what how many reports are running, what services your Intellicus is using. If any analytical object building is in progress, so you can see it from here. Any entities you have kept it in a favorite, so that will also get displayed. The recent report which you ran on your portal, then also you can access. Here you can, there are short links as well. You can directly go to the manage user page if you want to see, okay, how many users are there in your Intellicus, how many organizations as a admin user. You can configure the server properties from here or create a connection, and then the deployer as well. So as soon as I log in into the Intellicus, I have seen the home page. Now this is my portal menu. So from here I can navigate to the different entities of Intellicus. Just like if I want to go to the query object, so I can go under the design, and then if I want to create a connection to the database, then I go to the configure under administrator. If I want to design a smart report, so I can navigate under analytics. If I want to create a schedule for a particular report, so I can go from here. Then if you want to see alerts or notification, then you navigate from notify. So these all are the navigation menus of Intellicus. Now under Explorer, you will see the categories created by your data administrator or by you, in which you will be able to save your entities. So there are multiple entities available that we have gone through, just like query object, parameter object, analytical object, and the different reports. So you can sort these entities here from here also. Okay, if you want to see only query object or parameter object or dashboards, so you can switch them also, or select or unselect the entities you want to see in your Explorer. Then if you click on the home page, so you move towards the home page, then we have alerts. So if any alerts in a particular report you have configured, for example, give me an alert when temperature becomes more than particular degree, 37 degree or like that, or any temperature you can give. So the alerts will get generated in that case. From the settings, you can set the connection which is required to run the reports. And in the info, you will get the user information along with the server time. That is, my server is running in IST time zone, along with the time zone, along with the server details, then build versions. And from here, you can sign out. Now, if I need to create a connection, so first I need to go to the configure page. Under configure page, I can create a connection, just like I already created a MySQL connection. So you just need to add the connection and give the required details. So these are the TCP IP connection details. So I have already these details. So I have selected the provider name as MySQL. You can see the Intellicus support a multiple wide range of database connections. And the driver version will be there. Then the server mode authentication you require. Then you can give the IP of the server on which Intellicus is running. And then your username, password, and you can test the connection and save it. So once you create a connection, then it will be usable for you to designing the reports. Now, as soon as we create the connection, our next step is to create the query object, because as I already communicated, that query object is a meta layer for the end user for designing the report. So the data administrator or the report designer need to design the query object. So for accessing the query object, user need to go to the navigate and then click on the query object. Here you can select the connection from which you want the data which you have created. Once you create on then the list of the table will get displayed, and you can use or you can design the query object. So let me give you a walkthrough of a designed query object. So just like this is a design query object, you can see there are different data coming from the different data sources, demo file source. Then a user can perform multiple database ETL operations. The user can join, union, and filter, sort. So these are all the database ETL operations. So by this, you can see the power of Intellicus, that just a single connection to the database and a user can see all the data in the form of table required in the system. So you can see the result in the form of the cross tab. And then user can perform join or union or filter, and then also the load step if you want to load this data in a particular different database from one database, or you just need to use it into the reporting, so you can use it into the reporting as well. So both the option we can do. Now for designing the parameter object, you just go to the navigate, go to the parameter object section. Here you can see that from here you can design a parameter object. You can select the input type which you want for end user to get displayed on the report. So it might be of edit text drop down option. Then its data type, the input you are getting from the end user while running the report, it should be in the form of character, number, or date. So you can select the data type as well. Then you can write the query on the SQL statement on which the parameter object will fetch the data, just like if you're creating a, so you have to select the column state because you want the end user to enter the state, so the data will get filtered according to the state. So I can give you a walkthrough of the created query parameter object as well. So just like we have created a drop-down input type parameter on the character data type, and I am fetching the manufacturer from the product. So in this way, you can design the parameter object. So as soon as we have created the connection, then design a query object, and after that, on the requirement basis, design the query object. I just need to go to and design the smart report. So I just navigate to the smart report and select the QO. So I have selected the QO, you can see. So the default view of my smart view report is the grid view. You can see the grid view is my default view. And in the first go, it loads only 200 rows, but in my data set, it is around 32,000 rows. You can see it is showing a message that you prepared complete data set of 32,000 plus rows, or 32K reports. So you can see that the default view of my smart view is the grid view. Here we have 200 rows coming by default. Now in this query object, I have already used a parameter object. So a parameter input form is also coming here, in which you can see it is showing me a drop down with the default value which I have selected while designing the. So it is showing me the value which I can. So it's value coming from my database as well, because there are some places in the column where the value might be blank as well. So you can see that the end user can able to select any values according to their requirement. Now here user can design the charts. A user can add a different chart here, just like if you select the order date and the quantity on the y-axis. So the default chart view will be the bar chart. So you can see. So the user can define the different charts as well. Even on the grid, the user can control the fields which designer wants to be get displayed into the report. So if you don't want to see all the fields, you just only want to see two fields in your reports, or if a user want to see only customer name into the report, so the user can select the multiple fields according to their analytics or their use case, and only that fields can be displayed into the report. Also, we can apply highlighting on this as well. So if I am taking some cost like that, then I'm applying highlighting entire row. I can use it style. Entire row should becomes blue in a color when my unit price above 100, for example. So you can see that as soon as my unit price, where my unit price is above 100, that rows get into the blue color and the rest are without any background. So in this way, the user can apply highlighting as well. Even we can apply multiple highlighting conditions as well. A user can create multiple highlighting conditions according to their use cases. Also, the image highlighting as well. For example, if we want a green tick instead of the blue color to be highlighted, we want a green tick on the row where my unit price is above 100. So that will also work. And instead of this blue color, the green tick will get displayed. You can see. Now it is coming up. So this is known as the image highlighting in Intellicus. So you can apply this as well. And if for a particular condition, a user want an alert to get generated. Okay, whenever my unit price becomes 100, please above 100. So please generate a alert. So you can click on this checkbox as well. And later subscribe this alert to get notified to for the end user or the administrator. Also, we can apply grouping, total, sorting, all the database operations here as well. If you want a total for a field, for example, if I want total on the order quantity, so I can go here, select the order quantity at the report level. I can see the total. So at the end of this, you can see the total of the order quantity is getting displayed. That is 5053. Also, we can add a matrix to be added. So your user can design a matrix and do the multi-dimensional or the three-dimensional analytics of their data using the matrix control. So that also we can do. Now let me walk through you some of the designed smart reports. So once you design the report and save the report, you can just run it through the Explorer using double click, or you can just right click and run the report. So in this way, you can see that my report is getting generated and I have applied a grouping along with the highlighting. So you can see the output for the end user as well. Let me walk through one more report. You can run the report in the different format as well from here, Adobe, Excel. But if you double click on it, so it by default run in the smart report or the smart output. So in this way, we can design the smart report. Now moving towards the ad hoc reports. So we'll go to the ad hoc reports. So as soon as we navigate to the ad hoc reports under the design, here also we have an option to select the query object. So we can select the query object from here. Just like I select this. Then the user can group the columns they want to get displayed into the report. So the same way we do into the smart, we can do in the ad hoc as well. All the filter we can apply grouping, total, sorting, highlighting. We can create different charts as well. So all the things that we are having to the smart report, we can use into the ad hoc report as well. You can see that I'm running the report. But the important point in the ad hoc report is that we can apply the template on it. So there's an option to apply a template. So you can change the template. For example, if I'm running a report in the nature template. So these are some by default templates which are supported into the product. But user can define or design their own template as well. So that is also the use case where they can design their own templates according to their use cases. So Intellicus provides the user to capability to design the reports as well. So that also you can do. I think I have taken something. Let me remove this chart. So you can see. So it is a template based report. Here you can see the date generated into the report along with the grid get background colors according to the theme. Also, there is a border. So a user can configure the ad hoc templates from this ad hoc template section. So you can go to this ad hoc template section. You can design your own template or edit the existing template according to the layout. So there is a complete option to set what you want on the report header, footer, detail section, grid color, charts, metrics, everything is configurable. So that is the main importance of ad hoc report, that if a user wants to design a template based report, they can go for the ad hoc reports. Now, let me give you a walkthrough of one or two design ad hoc reports. So just like I can run it. The same, you can run the ad hoc report as well. You can just double click on it or right click or run the ad hoc report. So you can see that this is the ad hoc report on which a data bar is also applied. So in which is showing the values which are, there is a base value, and the values which are lower than base values are showing the red in the color, and the values which is in the green showing the more than that base value showing in the green data bar. So that is a design. Now we can move towards the pixel perfect report, that is the standard report. Because all three reports, the smart, ad hoc, and standard, will designed using the query object and parameter object, because they will fetch the data from the database at the runtime, and these are the dynamic kind of reports, not pre-aggregated. So it's like running a report, which is a standard report. So you can see I can select any patient here or the print option I want, and I will run the reports. Run the report. So you can see it is a complete health insurance claim form. So this is the pixel perfect report which we have designed using our standard report designer. For accessing that designer, user need to go to the design, and then you can go to the studio report. And once we click on this studio report option, here also you will get the SQL wizard to select the query object. So there is one more advantage of the designer, is that you can design the query object from here as well, or you can use the pre designed query object as well. So there is both the options here. You can select any of them. If there is already query object designed, so you can use it, or you can design a query object from here as well. And once you select the query object, then in the same way we are doing for the smart and ad hoc, we will do for the standard as well. You can govern the structure of the fields you want to see into the reports. If you want to see only these 4 fields into the report, so you can just move it from here, then finish it. Then you can design charts in this report. Then you can add cross tab images. Let me go through that direction, design of that report, so you can see the better way. Let me allow the pop-up. Done. So you can design the pixel perfect report. So you can set the position of a particular field, column, check boxes, coloring, bordering. So all these things you can achieve using the standard report designer. So this is the design of my report which I have executed. Now moving towards the analytical object. So for navigate to the analytical object, user need to go to the design and then analytical object. Once you go to this analytical object page, so there is an option to see the existing analytical object as well, because there might be some existing analytical objects available in a portal. So you can walk through it from here. You can see that what are the build settings of that analytical object, what are the sequence. You can also set a sequence for the build also. You can schedule your AOs from here, and you can also see the last status, that is successful, on which date it is created, built, all the things. And for adding the analytical object, you just need to click on the add, and then you will navigate to the AO page, and you can design your AO with the multiple dimensions and measures. So I will open a designed AO for your reference. Let me filter it out. So this is a designed AO. So you can take multiple dimensions. You can see that I have taken a fact table of you where these all are my measures on which I want to do the analysis on my data. These all are my dimensions hierarchy, and the different dimensions I have taken. Now let me design HSV report using this AO. So whenever I go to the high-speed view report, and for building this analytical object, you just need to click on this build option and click on the full build. So once you click on the full build, so this analytical object get built, and you will get the summary of the analytical object, that how much time it get to build the, means how much time it is taken to build, and what is the size of the AO, and uh, what are the different member count, and what are the different uh, members available in your data of the dimension and attributes you have taken. Now user need to just select the, as soon as you go to the high speed view report, so here also you have option to select the AO, that is analytical object, and here also the user will see, okay, which analytical object is built or not. So you will also, the analytical object which is already built, it will show you the last build status, and which is not built, it will show you a build required, and you can also build from here as well. So once you select the, so this is the page from where you can design the high speed view report. So you can design a report with the multiple views in a single report and do the multiple visualization. By default, the default view of HSV is also cross tab, but you can change the different view type from here, just like you can create a bar chart or different chart types from here. So our HSV has the powerful chart types which you can depict. We have a custom charts just like tree map. You can design pictorial stack charts. So we have a lot of better visualization opportunities in HSV, and a user can define the seamless view in a single pane. So you can, side by side, you can view the cross tab. Also, you can visualize the chart. So both the things you can see view into the single view. You can also set the height and width of your views according to your requirements. Some information you might be see might your end user required on the top, so you can reshuffle the positioning of the views as well. and you can design the different cross tabs. Just like in a custom chart, we can go here and apply the changes started to custom. So we can see the charts in the form of images as well. So all this kind of analytics or the better visualization we can do using the different chart types and Intellicus in the HSV view report. Also, we can apply the filters as well on the reports in the HSV. The same feature we have for the smart ad hoc in studio as well. But in HSV, you can apply the filters just like I just need to see the particular agency data. So I can apply it from here and only that particular data will get displayed in my report. We can also apply selection filters as well. So if I apply a filter after selecting this as a selection, so all my other views will get filtered according to this selection. Because on the runtime, I just only need to see the value of the total value of this agency. So once I apply a selection filter on this agency, you can see that I will be able to filter out my data and all my views get filtered out according to this selection. We can also apply highlighting on the values as well, just like we do in the smart and ad hoc report. So we can apply the same highlighting here as well. For example, if total value is above 100, so we can apply it. So same we can do. You can see that this get colored into the blue. And in the single view, you can select the multiple measures as well. For example, if you want to see the multiple values for that particular agency in a single view, so you can see that as well. You can remove these selection filters. So you can see that you are able to analyze all the required measures for this particular agency in a single view using this smarter cross-tab view. And let me view the designed HSV report. Same way you can run the HSV report as well. Just go to the Explorer and double click on that, and or either right click and select the run option to run the report. So you can see you can define the different chart types. You have support a waterfall chart as well here. Or you can so you can see that in this report in the single view only we are able to analyze multiple data because it's kind of dashboard. It will give you a look and feel of the dashboard and a user can see in a single view, okay, what is my total value agency wise, what is the premium amount in 2014 for a particular financial year, country wise, which total value is higher. So it is a word cloud chart. So it is representing United States have the most total value country wise. You can also see the different line charts or the trends. You need to see, okay, what is the total value trend city wise. So you can see, okay, the amount paid trend is like that, the premium amount trend is like that, and the total value is that. We can also design the tree maps chart in the HSV report as well. So it will provide the end user the visualization at the top most layer, and the end user can depict a lot of data or do the analytics on the fly in the fraction of seconds because it is running on the pre-aggregated data. So it will get you all the sums, all the calculations very fast as compared to the ad hoc and smart reports because they will fetch the data from the query objects and the database on the runtime, but it is a pre-aggregated in Intellicus, so you will get the data on the fly in a very less amount of time. Even also, if you need to hyperlink or you just need to uh, run the reports through hyperlink, so you can use this hyperlink feature in all of the four reports, but I'm just demonstrating it in the HSV. So for example, I've created a report and I just want to navigate to the another HSV report through hyperlink, so just need to configure it in the analytical object. So you can configure the analytical object at here under the hyperlink section. You can select the report on which you want to drill through. So whenever a user click on this Australia button, so we will navigate to the another HSV report, and that HSV report will display the data according to Australia only because I have clicked on the Australia country. So my HSV report get filtered accordingly. So one use case I just move to another report and that report is also get filtered according to the value I clicked, because this report is only showing me the data according to the Australia only. So we can do the hyperlink as well. We can also visualize the map as well in HSV reports. So we can also create the map. So you can see I have designed a map. So for designing a map, you just need to go here and select the control and change its type from cross tab to map. Then select the map layer you want to get displayed. And after that, the marker color, which will plot on the map. Then the range color if you required. So you can see that I'm just viewing the map and it is depicting my value. If I click on this, I will get the tooltip. Okay, the total value of the France is dollar in this. So this is the map view for HSV report. Same map we can use in the Smart and Adobe as well. Now you can also do the scheduling of these reports. So you can just go or you can perform the post view operation on these reports, all type of reports. So you just need to select the reports from the Explorer. Then you can just need to run, modify, cut, copy, paste, or you want to create and just click on this schedule button. So you can just schedule a report along with the required details. So let me just like this. So you can see you will see the report. So from here you can select, okay, you want this schedule to get run now once recurring, or you just want to which delivery operation you want. You want to email it, upload it on the FTP, or just publish it in Intellicus, or you just need to select the report format as well. And again, you can save this schedule and just schedule the HSV report. So you can just do the scheduling of all kind of four reports as well from the Explorer. Now let me back to the presentation. So I think we are done from our side. So I have given you the uh, walkthrough of SmartView reports, high-speed view reports, ad hoc reports, standard reports. Also, how to create the query object, parameter object connections, and different reporting technologies of Intellicus. So there there is a 15 minutes question and Q&A session. So we can go for that, and I have ahead of 5 minutes in completion of my presentation. So